Well, we're going to do it again for a 7th year. We're going to kick off the football season by talking to as many players and coaches from the area surrounding Howard County here on the ISC Sports Network. Welcome to Sun King and Kokomo, beautiful downtown, the Depot District. Our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo, Brandon Bishop, Abby Googe, Craig Severns, having us out to talk to players and coaches from 11 different schools. All 5 Howard County schools, both Tipton County schools and some other ones along the way. We've got a couple of schools we're looking to celebrate. Taylor and Eastern are defending sectional champs for the first time in program history. We've got coaches that have moved from one school to another and some first-time head coaches we'll talk with as well. We'll lead off the show by, well, I think he's the dean of local coaches now. Aaron Toll is entering his 21st year as the head coach at Tipton, and the Blue Devils will start the show for us. Back with more in a moment. You're watching the 2025 Coca-Cola of Kokomo kickoff special right here on ISC.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Welcome back on our annual Coca-Cola of Kokomo kickoff special here on the ISC Sports Network. My name is Greg Rakestraw. The Tipton Blue Devils are kicking things off for us this season. Slade Springer is the player to my right. We'll get to him coming up in a matter of moments, but joining us now, entering his 21st year as the head coach at Tipton, and frankly, he spent his entire life around Tipton football. It is Aaron Toll. Good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Doing great. Feel like we've had a really, really productive summer, and getting ready to start things off next week.
I know historically how high the bar is set for you. So oftentimes you're not measuring a successful season in terms of, hey, we made the sectional championship game, but a 5-win improvement from 23 to 24. What was last fall like for you and the team?
It was a great turnaround season. Our juniors and seniors had a lot to do with that. And we basically, after 2023, we were starting at ground zero, and a credit to last year's seniors and this year's incoming seniors. We kind of turned the page and took the challenge and won 7 games on a very tough schedule, and were able to play in the sectional championship game. Just came up a little bit short, which is the game everybody in the state wants to play in, right?
Of course. I know that, again, because of the way your league has worked, this is the last year it's going to be this way. Hoosier Conference has had a small school division for football and a large school division. That goes away at the end of the year. But frankly, you are largely playing a 3A schedule at this point anyway. Mm-hmm. Just your thoughts about the 9-game slate you and your kids have coming up.
I think it's, again, very tough. I mean, I think the biggest thing that stands out is we only have 3 home games this year. Yeah. We have 6 road games, and some of those are very long trips. Rensselaer is 2 hours. I've never been to Heritage, but I assume Heritage is about 2 hours.
Right.
Benton Central is 1 hour and 45. So it's going to take a lot of maturity, a lot of leadership to put yourself on a bus for 2 hours and then get yourself off and be ready to play a good ball game. So we're going to be road warriors this year. We're going to play some very good opponents. But hopefully that will prepare us for a long tournament run.
Obviously, at your school, you've got kids that are 2-sport athletes or 3-sport athletes. You got kids that are farm kids as well. What is the amount of work you're able to put in, like in terms of the off-season conditioning program and weightlifting to get ready for the upcoming season?
We because of a lot of our kids working on the farm and other places, we typically go in the evening.
Yeah.
It's usually the hottest part of the day a lot of times.
Right.
Like we have workouts at 5 o'clock 3 or 4 times a week. But I think that's good. Our kids are usually acclimated to the heat. Our kids have great work ethics. Our kids are tough. And I think a lot of those things are reasons that we have had success in the past. We've had an awesome summer. One of my best in the 21 years. I kind of changed my philosophy a little bit. We were had a little bit more competition. I know we scrimmaged Tri-Central in June, got together with them. It was more of a joint practice kind of thing. We did a canoe trip this summer with the team. We went to Eastbrook and scrimmaged Jay County, Yorktown, Delta, and then we were at team camp last week for 3 days, and we were paired with Garin Catholic, Edgewood, and Newcastle. So I feel like, kind of told the kids, I feel like we're kind of a month ahead of where we have been because of the amount of competition. And because of that competition, I feel like our kids have kind of responded. We've probably had 75% of our team there every workout. So I don't know that you're ever going to get 100% in the summer, but I feel like if you're hitting 750 every time, we can be really, really productive.
Well, if you think this is one of the best off seasons you ever had, that tells me you really like your senior class. So, because that means they've led the way. Tell me about this group.
They were they're a really good group, and they've bought in. I brought 4 of them with me today, but they've done a great job. To me, it's their job to relay what I want to the rest of the team,
Sure.
and they've bought into that, and they've done a great job in the locker room, on the field. We just have to
Well, now I'll turn to my right, and we've got 4 different Tipton seniors who are going to join us. So Slade gets the honor of going first and going solo. Slade Springer is joining us now. Slade, you heard what Coach had to say. How has your summer been getting ready for your senior season?
My summer's been actually really great. I like showing up to practice. I know not many people say that, but showing up to practice it's like one of the best parts of my day. I have fun here.
Well, again, this is going to be the case every summer. The last month, it has been blisteringly hot.
Yes.
What have those workouts been like for you and your team?
It's sweating as soon as you step your foot out of the locker room. But, we get plenty of water breaks, and then it's all more of a mindset thing.
Coach was talking about how he's tried to, and I hear this from other coaches too, everything in off-season workouts is about competition.
Right.
What has it been like for you and your teammates? What have you been competing in over these off-season workouts?
Like you said, we did the Tri-Central joint practice thing where we kind of went up against them. Went to Eastbrook this summer, and I played in a scrimmage there, and then a football camp. It's been a lot more than last summer, but every day we got players on our team who show up and they want to be better than they were the day before.
What was last fall like for you, again, to go from 2 wins as a sophomore to 7 wins as a junior and making the sectional championship game? Your thoughts on the progress you and your teammates made a season ago?
So the senior class last year, my class and their class, we've always been really good friends, so I think that helped us a lot, and we did not want to go 2-9 again. So we came out of the gate ready to play football.
All right, so last year you wore number 22, and we kind of documented this story last year on the show. It is a tradition at Tipton as a senior, you give your number to somebody else on the team. So you're wearing number 3 this year.
Yep.
Who'd you get number 3 from last year?
I got it from one of my good friends, Dallas Capshaw.
Yeah?
He played wide receiver and safety last year. And, that's kind of it. It's typically like who you're good friends with, or, who thinks you need it.
Well, all right, so you're switching positions here as well, bumping up to the linebacker. What does that mean
No,
for you?
I've been playing linebacker
Okay.
since sophomore year, but I love playing linebacker.
What's going to make this a good year for you and your teammates?
I think the fact that we got some experience still on there, and our line got a lot bigger up front.
Very cool. Slade, pleasure to meet you.
Yep, nice to meet
Coach,
you.
as always, good to see you.
Good to see
And
you.
best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Aaron Toll to my left, Slade Springer to my right. We got 3 more Tipton Blue Devils that will join us next as you're watching on the Coca-Cola Kokomo kickoff special here on ISC.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query,
And I'm Derek Schultz.
and we are part of, actually, the entirety of at least from an on-air standpoint. Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative.
Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network. Our next team up would be North Miami, coming in off a sectional championship season a season ago with a 10-3 record. All smiles about that is Joe Grant, as he should be. Coach, not many teams get to have an 8-win improvement from one season to another. What was last fall like for you and the guys?
It was all about the players. Looking at these guys' sophomore year, a lot of the same guys that started as sophomores started as juniors. And we're fortunate that a lot of these guys that started as sophomores and then had a great turnaround season last year as juniors are back. So we're fortunate. Last year was a great ride, but just because we had a good year last year doesn't mean that it's automatically going to happen this year. We got a great schedule, tough opponents, but we're confident in our guys that they've put in the work in the summer and the off season, and feel good about moving forward this year.
First sectional championship in 12 years. And my guess is that first Friday in November is going to be talked about for a long time from last fall.
Yeah, no, it was memorable. But throughout the year, we just try to give the message to the guys that, we know where we could get, but it's the day-to-day, it's the week-to-week. So, we went on a 2-game skid there in the middle of the year. We lost to Pioneer, North Judson, week 4 and 5. And I remember being in the end zone at North Judson talking to the guys and just saying, hey, don't panic. We know where we can go. Let's clean things up. And we went on a nice run there. And, once again, I mentioned it before. We got a great schedule. Our conference that we play in is tough. I think it's one of the best, if not the best, 1A conference in the state of Indiana, in the HNAC. And, we feel like, we can have success, but it's all about those little things. So.
There are a couple of programs you never have to apologize for losing to. Pioneer and North Judson would be to, especially last year's team with North Judson making the state championship game. When you and I have the conversation every year, usually it's about numbers. So tell me, how big is your senior class and how many kids you got out for football this year?
So right now we have 14 seniors.
Wow.
This is the biggest senior class. So I graduated from North Miami in 2008.
Yep.
And so I started playing for Coach Miller. It'd be 2004 in the fall. So I know this, talking to him, since 2004 to now, so over the last 20 years, this is the biggest senior class we've ever had. Now, 3 guys are new additions or played in the past or played in another school and came in. But 11 of our 14 seniors played last year. And, heck, on offense, we're bringing 9 of them back.
Wow.
So technically 10. Cameron Wan, he's our senior center. He tore his ACL last year. Game 1, ended up playing 3 games with a torn ACL. So he's back. So he was kind of a starter anyway. So we're kind of returning 10 of our 11 guys on offense. That on defense we're bringing 8 back. So
we talked about this in terms of with Tipton before you guys, in terms of what they did this offseason, and they felt that they were kind of weeks ahead. My guess would be with that many guys returning, you kind of feel the same way, like you're ahead of the game from where you were a year ago.
Yeah, it's one of those things we can kind of not show up and do everything right, but day one of summer when we're like, hey guys, hey, we're lining up in Queen, we're running this, they can do it. And so, we even got to a point, Lake, who's here with us the other night, we ended the summer with a scrimmage. We're playing a team that was kind of stacking the box, and he's like, hey coach, they're doing this. So he's like, hey, let's try this motion. So I think next play we ran it. So that's when it's a player-led team. It's not about the coaches, it's about the players. And so they're the reason we're at where we're at. So
all right, tell me about why, of a 14-man senior class, why were these 2 guys the ones you wanted to kind of talk about your program?
They're able to talk. No, these 2 guys, Lake's actually a 2-time, so he came last year.
That's right.
So Lake came last year, so he's a seasoned veteran here in the interview process. But Braylon McIntyre, he's a dude. Both these guys, 3-sport athletes. Lake plays basketball. Lake plays baseball. Braylon plays baseball, and he wrestles. These 2 guys have just represented North Miami very well. They work their butts off in the weight room. They've been on teams that have not been very good, and they've been on teams that have had success. Both these guys won a baseball sectional championship their sophomore year, had a real good year this year as well. We won the football sectional last year, and then, Braylon's been a part of our wrestling program that won the IHSWCA 1A state championship last year. And so just how they've carried themselves and how they've represented our school.
So with that, I'm going to
think of two better guys to bring.
Turn to my right, and Braylon, I'll start with you. To be a part of that first sectional championship in 12 years, what did that mean to you last fall?
Well, I mean, it's awesome. It's definitely a different atmosphere for a football game. A lot more people in the crowd. It's just awesome. I'm not going to lie.
Lake, what was that night like for you and your teammates?
It was probably one of the best put together football team games we played all year, and It was just fun being out there with everybody. It was just a great time. It was loud out there. It was just fun all around.
What was the atmosphere like in school that next week when you were getting to play one more week and advance the regional? What was it like walking the hallways that week?
Well, I mean, it's awesome. Everyone's talking about it. And then, once Thursday comes around, everyone's talking about the next team we were playing, which was South Adams. And
yeah.
Yeah, and it still gets talked about now. So,
Lake, how has off-season been different for you guys this year now that you have that sectional championship in hand? How have the workouts, the attitude, et cetera, has it been really much different for you guys?
No, not really. I think every year that's been our goal, so it's kind of just the same, and we know we can accomplish it. So it's just we just don't worry about that. We just worry about what's coming up before all that and focus on the early games instead of what's late in the season.
Braylon, at any 1A school, if you're going to be successful in athletics, you're going to play 2 sports. You're going to play 3 sports. How do you kind of juggle that while still getting ready for the football season?
Just staying busy, staying active, and just obviously getting to all the football stuff. And then, my other 2 sports, just sprinkle them in.
Sure.
Wrestle once a week, play baseball, and just even everything out.
Not a fan of time off, are you?
No, not really. I don't like to be bored.
Clearly you're not with having 3 different sports. Lake, you heard me talk about this with Coach, that because you have so many returning starters, does it feel like you're ahead of where you were in terms of preparation from a season ago?
Yeah, because all of the starters we're bringing back, everybody's just got so much football knowledge that everybody, everybody knows what's happening, so everybody's, on the same page, and it just makes it so much easier when all the guys know what they're doing, especially with that much.
Braylon, what are some of the goals you and your teammates have set for the upcoming season?
Really just trying to do everything that we did last year, just one up everything that we did. Really just trying to play football very late into the season, playing our best football late into the season. Hopefully getting an HNAC title under our belts. And just really playing our best football in sectionals, regionals, semi-state, and hopefully even state.
And again, for those who don't know the lingo, HNAC, Hoosier North Athletic Conference, relatively new league. But again, you've got perennial powers like Pioneer and North Judson, who rolled through everybody they played until the championship game last year. Some of the best 1A football in the state, frankly, is played in the league that these guys are a part of. Lake, same thing. What's going to make this a good senior season for you?
I just think we got a lot of games we can win and a lot of good football we can play.
Good way to look at it. Guys, thank you very much. Good luck this season. Coach, as always, pleasure to see you. Good luck this year.
Appreciate it.
Joe Grant, thanks to Braylon and Lake for joining us as well, representing North Miami. We'll talk to the Kokomo Wildcats when we come back here on the ISC Sports Network.
My father's father had 2 brothers and a sister. His older sister, Hazel, had married a man named Jim Yunker, and he was involved in the bottling business early on, as early as 1906 in Indianapolis, and he sold flavors. He would have had grape, cream soda, blood orange, ginger ale. In 1915, he got the franchise for Coca-Cola in Indianapolis. So then we fast forward 20 years later to 1935, Jim Yunker approached my grandfather and his 2 brothers and said the franchises in Kokomo, Logansport, and Peru are available for sale, and you guys want this. Trust me, you want to get in the Coca-Cola business.
Welcome back here on the ISC Sports Network, and this is where the true professionalism of my job is required. The pizza just arrived. I have to sit here and smell this for the next 2 hours.
Yeah,
these guys get to talk for 10 minutes and get to go have a little bit of lunch. Thanks for joining us on the Coca-Cola of Kokomo kickoff special here on ISC. And a guy that joined us on the show last year, but now is in a completely different spot. He is now the head coach at Kokomo. It is Caleb Small. We'll get to a couple of his senior leaders in both Marcus and Brandon that are joining us in a matter of moments. But Caleb's been stuck with our ISC cameras for a long time. Playing at Marian University, offensive coordinator at Ben Davis. And last year, in your 1 year at Northwestern, 9-2. So congratulations on that season. Just your thoughts about making the move now a few miles further east and going to Kokomo.
I'll tell you what, the kids at Northwestern totally bought into what we were trying to do, and that's the reason I had the opportunity that I have now. And I told them that when it was time to go and make the hard decision, and we haven't really looked back. And these guys, testament to them, first and foremost, they've totally bought into what we're doing. They've gone all in. The first thing that we ask them to do as a program is to commit, and these two, there's a reason they're here today. It's because of their commitment and what they've done this offseason and this summer.
I don't think any coach comes into a new system and goes, all right, we need to ease up on the conditioning. No, normally it's turn the wick up and go. I know that was kind of what you looked at doing last year at Northwestern. Similar mindset here in terms of, hey, guys, we're going to be the fittest football team out there?
We've done a lot of the similar things that I'm used to doing in the summertime especially. They just went through 3 weeks of a gauntlet, and these guys were two of our co-captains in our co-captains program, and, they didn't waver, and they didn't allow their teammates to waver either. And, Coach Frazier does a really good job of keeping guys in shape throughout the season as well. Coach Frazier's our strength and conditioning coordinator, and he does an excellent job in the classroom and also after school and before school and throughout all of our summer days as well. So it's not just me having to do it here, with the extensive amount of kids. It's nice to have the help from Coach Frazier, and he's done an excellent job getting these kids ready to go.
It is a school, and again, you come with your background at Ben Davis, being the second largest school in the state. Facilities there are tremendous. Your thoughts on that facilities you now have every day, not just Walter Cross Field, but kind of throughout the district. What's it like with the facilities you have at Kokomo?
Well, since day one, I've said facilities will never be an excuse for us, never. And it's absolutely beautiful. We take pride in Walter Cross. It's something that we try to leave the field in the locker room and in the facility that we have with the team meeting room as well. It's second to none, and it gives you chills just to drive by the stadium. And when you actually get to operate there on a daily basis, we try to take care of it, and it's ours, right? And so we try to leave it better than we found it every day, and we are very fortunate what we have, not only with our field, obviously with Memorial Gym, but also our weight room is really nice, and it allows us to get the work in that we need to get.
The system that you want to run, a little bit different than what Coach Colby would run at Kokomo. How is that transition coming along?
Brandon and I were just talking about that, and that it is different. And their philosophy is 100% different, and that's okay, right? There's different ways.
Sure.
There's different ways to skin a cat. And so our kids have done a good job of buying into what we're trying to do. It is totally opposite as far as what it looks like, on a Friday night. However, the goal is really still the same,
sure.
right? At the end of the day, we're trying to win the game and score points. And so offensively, it is going to look a lot different. Defensively, it's going to look very similar to what it has been with Coach Spear running our defense this year. Our scheme is somewhat similar. We've made some tweaks as time's gone with the personnel that we have. But it's going to look a little bit different there too. And then in special teams, we just hired a brand new a new guy to our staff, and Coach Barr. He's got 2 state championships to his name as a head coach.
Craig knows a thing or two.
He knows a couple of things about football, and so he's been really good this week. In particular, we've started to install some things special teams wise, and so we're going to be aggressive but simple in the same matter. And being able to learn from guys like Coach Spear and Coach Barr and the rest of our staff, whether they're young guys straight out of college, learning, as a first-year teacher, or whether they're guys that have been staples in this program for 20 years plus. it's been good for me just to be able to learn from them, to learn the area, to learn the people, and to invest time into these kids. They do a hell of a job, and it's a lot of fun to coach with them on a daily basis.
Taking a quick glance at your schedule, it's a bit unique. With the North Central Conference shrinking a bit, you guys have a kind of a traditional schedule. You're going to play your conference games last. You have found 4 non-conference games. Director of Transportation behind the camera is really happy. 3 of those are going to be home games for you, so you're not going to New Pal, Terre Haute, or Jeffersonville. All those places are coming here. But you play a pretty wide variety of teams. Your thoughts about your schedule?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty unique.
Yeah.
It's not easier. It's not easy on the schedule. Mr. Sale and I have talked about it. In those week 3, week 4 games, trying to find non-conference opponents is tough. But it gives us the opportunity to put ourselves in a situation to win the NCC and to win a sectional, and it allows us to play a variety of football. Whether we're playing one of the best teams in the state of Indiana in New Pal week 1, with the physicality that they're going to have, the quarterback play in which they're going to have, and the discipline coming off a 15-0 season, they understand what it looks like, and so we're gonna know exactly where we stand after week 1. Week 2 with Terre Haute South, Coach Barrett is a first-year coach in that regard, or at Terre Haute South as well, and so that's going to be a different prep for us, like maybe a South Bend Adams, like in our sectional. Sure. It's going to be a prep that we don't normally have. That's going to be a challenge for us, and it's going to prepare us then for postseason play. When we go to Monrovia, excuse me, when we go to Monrovia, they're very unique, and they're going to run the ball. They're going to do some things very unique on offense in the wing T system that they run and they totally believe in.
Oh yeah,
and he's dang good at it.
Yes.
And so that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue for us in order to prepare for that. It's going to be different. It's going to be different from everybody else that we play. And then Jeffersonville as well. They're really, really athletic, and they're a 6A program, and that gives us the opportunity again to see where we are. In our first, after those first 4 games, to put us in the mindset to go win the NCC and get ready for sectional play.
All right, hang tight for a minute. We're going to talk to you, a couple of your senior captains here. Again, Brandon to my right and Marcus here at the end of the table. Brandon, I'll start with you. What has the adjustment been like going from Coach Colby to Coach Small this offseason?
It's been like a real change for sure. I would say that. And like you said about the conditioning, it's all been hard. And I like that. We need it. I'd rather be fourth quarter and I'm still got my lungs, and I can still go at it, and we're down a point and we just need one more point to win. So I like it. The offense, nothing. It's easy to adjust, especially me and Coach Small have been talking about that. If we can adjust and invest, then I think we can get it.
Marcus, kind of same question to you. What has this conditioning program been like for you and the other guys along the line of scrimmage?
It's definitely been it's definitely been a process. We fought through it a lot. There was some ups and downs that we had. Some guys just not trying to buy in, but we eventually got to the point where everybody is buying in and doing what they need to do. From the first co-captains when it took us 46 times to get our 40-40s in time to the last one it took us 41. Yeah, maybe we should have gotten all 4, but or maybe we should have got all 40 in the first times. But,
sure.
But the fact that we cut 5 times off of that doing extra, it shows that we can improve, and it shows that we have the heart to improve, and that all we just need to do is just work.
Marcus, while it's a new voice, again, you guys are by no means in a total rebuild. 5-5 last year, which frankly is down given the success that Kokomo has had these last 10, 15 years. What are kind of the tweaks that you think, all right, it's 1 or 2 things to kind of get back to where you want to be? What are those steps that you want to take this year?
Well, first off, I think the main problem we had last year, it was a very egotistical team. We were very talented, I'll say that. It was a very talented team we had a very high ceiling. But I think too many egos clashed, and it caused us to derail our season very early on when I thought we had a lot of potential to do a lot more, especially after that week 1 game against New Pal when we held them to the lowest amount of points they scored all season. So, I really thought we were gonna do something special in that postseason, but that's changed now this year. Everybody knows the role that they play in the team and where they stand and what they can do to help us win. And I think that's really going to help us out come postseason.
Brandon, your thoughts on what Marcus had to say? And again, to me, when I hear that, it becomes a leadership thing on the team. How do you provide that leadership to everybody else in the locker room?
I would just say keeping positive mindsets. If we keep a positive mindset, everything else will be way easier. Pushing them, scoring, listening to coach, So if we keep our positive mindsets and starting off with leaders, if leaders have bad mindsets, then it's not going to go anywhere. So we got to make sure us leaders have a good mindset so we can move forward and keep it pushing.
One of the things that coaches have to worry about is maybe overlooking a certain opponent. When you're playing a defending state champ the first week of the season, that is not a problem. Your thoughts about taking on a team like New Pal in week 1?
I would say it's fine. I really don't care. I'm ready to go at it. I'm ready to hit. I'm ready for the team to experience it, and the hardest opponent first, that's fine. The hardest opponent last, it doesn't matter. We're just ready to go.
Marcus, before we let you go, every player should feel pride about the school, the nickname, whatever is on their chest. There is something unique about having Kokomo on your chest. What does it mean for you to represent this town where we are filming this today, to be a Kokomo Wildcat? What does that mean to you?
I mean, it really just means everything to me. I mean, being a Kokomo Wildcat is really is an important and special feeling. And Coach Small says this a lot. Everybody wants to be us. We have a target. If everybody wanted to do, or if everybody could do the things that we get to do, they would be out here doing it. So just being able to represent a program like that has such a storied history and has such a meaning in the community, it really means something special to me.
Coach, I'll come back to you for a final thought. Just what's going to make this first season a successful one for you here in Kokomo?
I say it all the time. I tell these guys we're not going to talk about winning and losing very often. We're going to talk about reaching our potential. If we can reach our potential, I think we're going to be successful. I think at the end of the day, you're going to be able to see a decent record there to be proud of. And for us, it's not just to reach potential, but to reach it at the right time. In week 1, at the grand scheme of things, we want to know where we stand. Sure. We want to compete our tails off, but it really doesn't matter. We're trying to win. We're trying to win. When it matters, whether it's the NCC or whether it's a sectional trophy and beyond that in the playoffs.
Sounds good, my friend.
Yep.
Wishing you all the best. Good to see you as always.
Appreciate it.
Caleb Small again, guys. Thank you so much. Good luck this upcoming season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll talk about the Northwestern group when we come back right here on the ISC. Welcome back here on the ISC Sports Network. Thanks to our friends at Sun King of Kokomo being the host site for us here in the beautiful Depot District in downtown Kokomo. Our basketball show was here in the fall, and we're thankful that they have hosted us again. The show was not possible without our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo. Again, they have been your local Coca-Cola bottler in North Central Indiana since 1907. This is the 7th year that we have done this football kickoff special, and we have had a handful of different coaches join us representing Northwestern. Last year's coach was on with us the last segment of the show. However, what Caleb Small did in 1 year was literally, pardon the play on words, no small turnaround. Northwestern 9 wins a season ago, and now Shane Turnipseed is the man in charge of the Tiger program after learning from, a really good coach in Pat Shanley at Lafayette Jeff for the better part of a decade. He joins us now. Shane, first of all, congratulations on being an Indiana high school football head coach. What's it like to hear head coach in front of your name?
Thank you so much. It's a blessing. I'm honored to be able to be in charge of leading a team and being in charge of helping young men grow into, men and prepare them for their future as adults and get to coach a little football along the way through that. So I'm very blessed to be in this position and so thankful for Northwestern for believing in me and giving me my shot.
Why was Northwestern the right place for you?
Yeah, so I graduated from North Miami, so I was very familiar with Northwestern and spent a lot. I was actually born in Kokomo, spent a lot of time here, and I knew of Northwestern, knew it was a great school, wanted to go to a school that, was academics are really important, football is also important, athletics, and Northwestern really stood out. Obviously, with the year they had last year, knew that success was possible and that things had been, kind of turned around and things were going in the right direction. So Northwestern really stood out to me, and I was very fortunate that the administration chose me.
These are kids that, again, the success has been getting better. And I want to make sure I mentioned it before Caleb got there. Rob Patchett now at Taylor had kind of gotten things going in the right direction. So again, from 3 wins to 9 wins. But for these guys that are seniors, you're the third different head coach they have had. So what has their buy-in level been like for what you and your staff are now trying to put together?
Yeah, they've been through a lot of turnover. I'm coming in hoping to provide some stability, building the program. That's what I care about. And their buy-in has been all in since day one. Our culture is dare to be great. Dare stands for discipline and attack with relentless effort. And they've given us that effort every time. They've been bought in. We're developing leaders. And the kids, they got the taste of that success last year, and they want to do it again. And so we're working to sustain that success and then hopefully take it to the next level.
You are learning new players. You are, frankly, learning new opponents. There's not much carryover in terms of what you saw at Lafayette, Jeff, where you're playing North Central Conference schools and mixing in some indie schools or even region schools from time to time. So what has this crash course been like for you in terms of kind of learning not just your kids, but kind of getting ready for 9 other teams coming up this fall?
Yeah, so getting to know our kids is obviously number one priority, getting to establish relationships with them and building relationships with them and letting them get to know me some. But, I played in the TRC growing up. Obviously, it's a little different now, but, we won't see as much spread as we did in the NCC playing our schedule at Lafayette Jeff, but a lot more wing T in the TRC. But it always comes down to the main things: taking care of the ball, making sure you're great tacklers, being elite tacklers, and just competing, playing as hard as you can.
You might also see a little bit more grass fields than you used to see.
Yes,
at that level.
Not as much turf, for
exactly, just a little different. Tell us about the senior class and about these 2 young men.
Yeah, our senior class, we have 9 guys. Probably about 5 or 6 of them have been guys that have played quite a bit of varsity football. So it's a smaller class, but it's guys that are great players, great leaders, great students. They're great young men, and I've been very blessed to be able to come in and lead them. And we have Aiden and Michael over here, and they're 2 of our best. They're great kids. They give us everything that they have, and I'm excited for the year they're going to have this year.
All right, so with that, I'll turn around. I'll get back to you in a second. But again, it is Aiden directly next to me and Michael over my right. And Aiden, you heard what I had to say. Again, this has kind of been common at Northwestern where you guys have had 2 or 3 different head coaches. What was not common was the fact you guys went out and won 9 games last year. So what was it like for you to be a part of last year's turnaround season?
It was really, really special to be part of that season. And I think you really felt like the team coming together, and we really believed in ourselves as a whole unit, and we were able to find some really meaningful success.
Michael asked a question like this to some of the young men from North Miami, what I call the hallway question. What was it like walking the hallways after wins? Because you hadn't had many of those in your first couple of years as a football player. What was that atmosphere at school like when you had a 9-win season?
It was a lot better. Not much talking about us losing because we won more games, and people were just congratulating us more. It was more excited to come out to next games and our away games.
Aiden, what is this senior class like? Again, it's not mighty in number if there's not that many of you. What has this experience been like with you and the other guys that are now going through a 4th and final year of high school football at Northwestern?
It's most of us have been together since elementary, so we've all played together, and we've all just been through the ringer, I guess, together. So it's real special. This last year, we're gonna try to come together and have one last good season for us.
Michael, what has the adjustment been like going from Coach Small to Coach Turnipseed?
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty similar, really. Not much of a change. Just we've got dare workouts instead of a straight up running conditioning, which is nicer.
I knew you were quite well conditioned under Coach Small. That much I certainly know. How are these workouts different?
We just do more like sled push, pulls instead of just straight up running.
Okay. What are some of the goals? Obviously, you got to 9 wins last year. That's pretty lofty. What are some of the goals you and your teammates have set for this coming season?
We're just gonna try to build on last season and go, try to go undefeated, I guess. So we're gonna try to win the conference this season.
Michael, what is some of the goals you have set for yourself for this upcoming season?
Since it's my first year running back, hopefully rush 1,000 yards and then still lead the team in tackles.
All right, so which means you're going to be pretty busy if you're going to have a rush for 1,000 yards
Yeah.
and lead the team in tackles. What position are you moving to or moving from offensive? You're going to be a running back now. Where were you at before you were a running back?
I didn't play offense at all. I
Okay.
just was backup.
Just backing up. All right. You think you're ready for the two-way load?
Yeah.
Working out in the offseason obviously is hopefully paying off for you. All right, Coach, ask the guys this, same to you. What's going to make this a good season, your first season at Northwestern?
Yeah, we have winning goals. We want to win our conference. We want to beat our county opponent, Eastern, week 2. We want to win a sectional. Every team has those goals, but what will determine as a success is, did we compete as hard as we can every game? Did we get better throughout the year? Are we peaking at tournament time? And, are we developing these guys into young men that will be great fathers, husbands, great employees, leaders in their community one day? That's ultimately the great success of high school football.
Welcome aboard, buddy. Pleasure
Thank
to
you.
meet you. And, guys, best of luck this coming season. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you.
And now you can go enjoy some of that pizza now that we're done with the interview. Stay tuned. More comes your way next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And, Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts,
Hard to believe
Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Welcome back here on the ISC Sports Network, and we will keep it once again in Howard County in this segment of the show. And again, we have somebody that's been a regular on this program before, but now in a different place, making the move from Kokomo just down the road to Rocheville and Western High School. It is Austin Colby that joins us now. First of all, it is good to see you. How are the new digs treating you so far?
Great to see you. Thanks again for doing this. This is an awesome event, and it's been a good transition. I've been out at Western since January, so I got to spend all semester with the kids in the weight room, and so just to see the progress that we made in that almost 8 months now time frame that I've been out there, it's been a lot of fun. Got a great group of kids. Had a great summer, and looking forward to August 4th.
My guess would be you've been asked this variation of this question, about 1,000 different times at this point, if not more than that.
Yep.
Because Kokomo is so much of your blood and your background.
Yep.
Why was this the right move for you and your family?
Well, so at Western, there's a lot of blood out there. There's my grandpa's got a street named after him on campus out there. So he spent his 40-plus years in education out at Western. Went from everything from a middle school science teacher to the assistant superintendent out there. So, he's got a long lineage. My mom and dad graduated from out there. My wife graduated from out there. I got a lot of ties at Western, and just needed a new challenge, I think. And I think at Western, they're always, and they're known, and they want to be a football school.
Yep.
They haven't had a whole lot of tournament success the past few years. I think the last sectional they won was in 2007. But just looking forward to starting over. Building something from the ground, I guess you could say. And the administration out there has been great. Steve Edwards, he is the principal, and he was my baseball coach at Kokomo, so I got a good tie there. And Aaron Hyman, the athletic director, he spent some time at Kokomo too, so I got a good relationship with Aaron. And just a great group of people out there, good support staff, and got a lot of good coaches that I brought with me across the board. And I think these guys would tell you the same. It's been a different feel out at Western this year, but I'm super excited and just ready to get going in a couple days.
You bring a system offensively that is unique, that is old school.
Yep.
Same philosophy following you out to the western part of the county?
100%, yep. And we got her all installed this summer, which was great. And guys look good running it. I think they're getting a little bit more comfortable in it. When Alex Stewart was out there, he ran a variation of it. He got a bunch of his offensive stuff from myself and my dad. Spent many days in our basement with him, just teaching him the basics. And so to be able to obviously last year they tried to do a little bit different things schematically, but getting them back to running the football, playing good defense, and then that's what creates success at the high school level.
All right, what has been the level of buy-in from your guys?
I think I don't think there's anybody that's been. I think we got about 50 guys that have been in pads, and I don't think there's one guy that's not fully bought in. We had an unbelievable attendance this summer, especially through the month of July when we were actually in pads. But I think from the administration down to the kids to the community, I think the buzz out in Rushville is real right now, and hopefully we can deliver this year. We got some people on our schedule who will get us ready to play in the tournament, and then hopefully by the end of October we're ready to roll.
I was going to say your schedule is unique again, and we touched on this earlier. The Hoosier Conference is 1 year away from kind of playing everybody.
Yes,
You're still kind of playing half the teams in the league.
Yep.
So you have Indian Creek, North Montgomery, and Lutheran, which I know where all those places are.
Yeah.
Not many of them are close to Rushville.
No, they're not. And we had Indian Creek and Northmont ready to go. We were still looking for a week 3 when I got to Western. Lutheran reached out about February. They were going over to the St. Louis area, and they didn't want to make that trip, but they'd rather just come.
Sure.
I said, well, if you guys come to us, we'll play you. And, they've lost 2 football games in the last 4 years, I think, or 3 years. So they're an unbelievable program. But, it'll be a good start. Coach Gooden down at Indian Creek's done a great job, and I know it's his second year, so his guys will be ready to roll come August 22nd. But just looking forward to the challenge.
Tell me about these 2 young men. We'll talk to you momentarily.
Yeah, they're the reason I brought them here is because they're just two leaders, and we did a leadership summit this summer at my dad's house around the pool, and they're 2 guys that are they don't know this yet, but probably going to be named team captains for the football team, and the way they embody themselves and what they do for the football team, they're selfless players. Levi's in a very in a role where he could be selfish, but he's not at all. He plays quarterback. He plays defensive end. He's got some looks to play at the next level as a tight end. But and then Devin is I think in my 7 now 8 years as a head coach, probably one of the most vocal leaders that I've ever had as an athlete, and he's going to play 2 ways for us too. And to have your best players be leaders like that normally leads to good things when you have player-led teams.
All right, so with that, let's talk to both Levi and Devin. And Levi, obviously, again, last year was kind of a year of a transition after Coach Stewart had been there for so many years. Now everybody kind of knows Coach Colby from just down the road. What's it been like learning from him these last 7 months?
It's been awesome. He came in last January, like he said, and started a lifting program with us. And since then, I think everybody's bought in and gotten a lot better than we ever have been. We're on the best ship of our lives, I feel like.
You guys look like you have not missed the weight room. I'll give you that much. Devin, what has this process been like for you?
It's definitely been a journey because he's been here since January, and we've had 3 different coaches in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. I really think it's been a great time. Learning his offense and the way he runs things and the way him and his dad run things. And it's just been a fun time.
Listen, nobody enjoys going 0-10. When I look at your scores, some of those games maybe were more competitive than they led on. But I guess what has been that motivation just to finally get on the right side of the scoreboard after not having that happen last year?
Definitely one of the motivations is just to win a game.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Levi here, we're going into our senior years. It's going to be our last, it might be my last time playing football at all in my life, and he might go play in college, but I don't want to do another 0-10 season for my last season when I'm a senior, and it's just not going to be fun that way.
Nobody wants to go through that, no doubt about that. So still going to stay in the quarterback role at Western this year?
Yeah.
All right, so quarterback's a lot of running the ball and handing the ball off in this offense. How is that transition going for you?
It's been great. I've been lucky to have a running back like Matthew that we can share reps with. Matthew McKittrick, he's all-state as a sophomore, and I'm just hoping we can both be productive, be as good as we can be.
And obviously Coach talked about this. You're starting to get some college looks maybe with a position change. What's the recruiting process like for you?
So it was weird because I started going to camps early June, maybe a little in July, and I'd never played tight end. So Colby had Andrew Barker come in a couple times. He worked with me, taught me a little bit about the position. And it was nice to get on the camps, and they taught me a lot. So it's been weird, a lot of learning, but I think I've come a long way. I'm hoping to keep
Official
going.
offers at this point, or just kind of general interest from schools at this point?
I have 4 official offers, 3 D1, 1 D2.
Okay, that gets
So
your
it's been-
attention
yeah,
right there.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We talked about the adjustment period, not just from a new coach, but from an offensive scheme. Devin, what about for you? What from a line blocking standpoint, how has that change been going for you and your teammates?
Like back when we had Stewart as our coach 2 years ago, I mean, we ran a very similar offense like he was talking about earlier. I mean, not a whole lot's changed up front. And then last year, we kind of ran a similar offense, blocking style, but I mean, not a whole lot's changed, but it's definitely the line up front has definitely been, it looks like we're more motivated to have a better season this year.
Motivation is always key. What's going to make this? I know your goals are bigger than winning a game, but yet I understand that's what's right in front of you, and you want to get off the schneid. What's going to make this a good season for you and your teammates, Levi?
Well, Coach Colby came in and he built a relationship with every single person on the team. And so every single person doesn't want to let Coach Colby down as much as they don't want to let everybody on the team down. So everybody shows up with a goal each day to do it for not just themselves, but everybody around them.
Austin, what's going to make this a good first season for you out in Roosevelt?
No doubt, having good player-led leadership, which these two are going to be a huge key. In 22 we had a good player-led team and made a decent run at Kokomo, but I see a lot of similar factors in these guys out here. And even though they were 0-10, they were not an 0-10 football team last year. I think just continuing to learn, continuing to stay humble and hungry. That's a phrase my dad uses a lot, and we use quite a bit after and before practices, just to keep everybody focused, keep their attention where it needs to be. But I foresee us having a good successful season. Not a lot of selfish players out there, not a lot of selfish attitudes, which helps a lot. And our offense kind of makes you be selfless with how many guys can get the ball. And if you're not going to block, you're not going to be able to get the rock. So that's the phrase we use a lot. So that buying into blocking and going out there and playing good defense, I think is going to lead to some success out in Roosevelt.
Coach, as always, thanks, Tom. Good to see you, buddy.
Great to see you.
Levi and Devin, guys, good luck in your senior season. We'll take this quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk to a team that won a sectional championship last year when we come back, as you're watching the 2025 Coca-Cola of Kokomo kickoff special right here. Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network, and there's a couple of schools that I was so looking forward to this conversation. Looking forward to talking to everybody, but especially schools that are sectional defending champs for the first time in school history, and that is the case for the Taylor Titans. And their head coach joins us now. He's been on this program multiple times in his days, both at Northwestern and now as the head coach at Taylor, in Rob Patchett. And Rob, again, to bring a school that has had limited, and that's being kind,
yes,
football success, a first sectional championship. What was that like last November?
I've been lucky enough in my coaching career that I've got to coach in several sectional championships, regional championships, semi-states, and states. But I will tell you, I think the joy that I felt after winning that sectional and seeing the joy on the faces of these kids and seeing how our students reacted probably better than any state championship that I've ever been part of. So it was pretty special. It was great for our community, great for our school. And we're hoping that we can try to repeat that year after year after year.
Listen, the norm has been 1 and 2 win seasons, and going into the postseason, you were 3 and 6. So I'm sure you knew, hey, we've been making progress here. What clicked? What changed once you got to the postseason?
I think it took a while for me to figure them out and for them to figure me out. We were actually really good defensively all year, but we struggled at times offensively. And then Javion, I think in the second or third game, broke his arm and was out for 4 weeks. And as crazy as it sounds, we actually beat Sheridan with him out. a team that was probably better than us, but it was on the hurricane night, if everybody remembers that. And I think at the end of the day that we just were mentally tougher than they were that night, and we figured out a way to win. And I think that was a big catalyst. But we also, as we got to the playoffs, our offense and Javion came back, our offense kind of changed a little bit. I think I was a little bit guilty of trying to force them into the offense instead of making the offense what worked for them. And we kind of figured it out during the playoffs and got on a run. And to be honest, our conference is really, really tough. Yeah. You got two blue bloods of Indiana high school football in single A, and Carroll and Sheridan. I thought we played really well against Carroll at the beginning of the year defensively. We just couldn't do anything offensively. And so this summer's been really good because I think we are at least where we were at the end of the season offensively, and I always believe our defense is going to be pretty good. Coach Memo Perez does a great job. He's my defensive coordinator, and our kids run really well, and most of the time we're pretty physical. So, I just think it took us a while to figure each other out, and then sometime one of the reasons I took the job is whenever I watched Taylor film, I always thought they had talent. Yeah. They had some really good kids, and a lot of times they had some of the best players on the field. I just didn't know that they were going about things the right way. And sometimes if you just get kids to believe, you can make a 100% turnaround. And I think that's what we did. They started believing in what I was teaching and started believing in what we were doing. And we just kind of got the ball rolling, and it became magical.
So now that you have had that taste of success, the story in a 1A school is always numbers of kids you have playing. Have you seen a bump in those numbers after what happened last fall?
You know what? I really thought I would. First day of practice, we had 29 or 30, which is more than we had last year. But it's kind of been up and down all summer, so I'm a little disappointed in that. Our school is a little bit unique in Howard County, and so it's a little bit tougher. We have a lot of kids that don't have rides. We have a lot of kids that struggle to get there. Kids that struggle to get physicals and all that kind of stuff. So we do as much stuff as we can to help them. But I think what's going to end up happening is that on the first day, we're going to get like a ton of freshmen out, right. Which is good. But at the same time, you don't really have a lot of time to slow down and reteach everything.
Sure.
But, we want them all out. And if there's upperclassmen that want to come play, we want them out too. And we'll figure out a way to get them caught up and see what happens.
Tell me about these two young men we're going to talk to here in a minute.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me talk about Dre first. Dre McClatchy is 6'2", 180 pounds. Both these guys have done a great job in the weight room. In fact, our whole team's done a great job in the weight room. We just started strength and conditioning classes in January, and our average bench press has went up by 30 pounds. Our average squat has went up almost 50 pounds, and almost every kid has gained at least 15 pounds. Yep. So we're going to look a little bit different getting off the bus this year than we did last year. I mean, we looked athletic last year, but now we're going to look a little bit more athletic. Dre is a kid who's a great athlete. He's a great corner. He was a receiver for us last year, and he was up and down, but this summer he's been phenomenal. And I tell Dre all the time, Dre, your biggest issue is just being confident. And so when Dre plays with confidence and knows he can be the man, Dre's going to be a really, really great player this year, and he's going to be a tough cover for anybody who's out there. And then there's Javion. Javion actually was voted the fall player of the year by the Kokomo Tribune this year. He was also nominated as the winner at one of the winter athletes of the year by the Kokomo Tribune this year. So I think he was in the top 3 or 4 in the state in rebounds. Javion is a kid who's got Division I athletic ability, and we'll see what happens. But they're both great kids, great leaders. I'm really, really fortunate to get to coach these two guys, we're going to go as these two go, along with we have a kid named Keyshawn Galloway who was an all-state receiver for us last year. Those three are really kind of our team leaders. I tell JV all the day, if you're having a bad day at practice, we all have a bad day at practice. So there's a lot of pressure on him, and I try to tell him, look, I'm going to be harder on you a lot of days because if you're not doing things right, then nobody wants to do anything right. But if you're hard on that tough, the best player on the team, then everybody's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I better do my stuff right too. So it's a pleasure to coach these guys. Both these guys got great futures ahead of them, we're lucky to have them at Taylor High School.
JV, we'll start with you. Let's talk about being a two-sport athlete. How does that help you? Because at the larger level, we talk about guys having to, kind of focus on one sport. At a 1A, 2A level, you need those guys to play 2 or 3 sports. the ability to play both. How has that helped you as a football player?
I would say coming in from basketball has a lot of things that helps with on the field.
Yep.
More like speed and agility, and just having that field of view. Like basketball, you have to have that field of view. So I bring that from basketball to football.
I think that's fair. Dre, Coach was saying to play with confidence. Has that been an issue for you?
Yeah, it has. I get down on myself a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I get down on myself easy. So, I just tell myself you can do it and just be you.
Well, let's start with go back to then last fall. Again, you guys knew exactly what I was talking about. Taylor has not had a history of success in football.
Right.
To bring home that first sectional championship. Dre, what did that mean to you and your teammates?
It felt great. It felt real great. I think that we figured what we can do for the next season.
Yeah.
So,
Javion, what was that night like for you?
Man, fantastical. I mean, boy, was I so happy. I mean, eyes bright, like stadium. Felt like it was like a Super Bowl game, like brought all the joy to my heart.
What was it like walking the hallways in school that following Monday, knowing you and your teammates had accomplished something that no one from your high school had ever done before?
Like I was the man.
One of the things the coach talked about, too, you guys did play it, as he very well put it, the hurricane night last year when you guys beat Sheridan, which, again, that's a sign, hey, great things are possible. What were the playing conditions like that night?
it was bad.
Yeah.
Windy, cold, falling everywhere, slipping.
Yeah. But you found a way to win it.
It was so windy, the soccer goals were being blown across the
I'm
field.
sure.
I was kind of angry we were going to play. I wasn't very happy with the Sheridan administration that we were even playing that night, but it turned out pretty good for us.
I'd say it worked out.
So, and that was a big game, an important game for me because I used to coach for Coach Wright,
Right.
and Bud is one of my best friends in the world. In fact, I talk to him probably once or twice a week. And I told him, I said, I've never felt bad about winning a game, but this one, and he goes, I don't feel bad. I wanted to beat you worse. So, so it was an honor for us to beat Sheridan. They're a great program, a storied program. But it was a big step for us, and it just shows that they could. And I told these guys again of the year, look, we're going to get better and better as the season goes on. We're going to win a sectional. And they'd look at me like I was crazy, but I try never to lie to them. So,
Javion, what's going to make this a good season? What are some of the goals you've set for this upcoming year?
Some goals, I would say, is achieving that other sectional again.
Sure.
And then going past that to regionals and maybe state, because I think we got it.
Yeah. Dre, what about you?
My goals is to be a dog on the field, gain more confidence, and just being a leader for my teammates.
Javion, what's the future for you? Is it basketball? Is it football? Have you made that determination just yet?
It's in the middle.
You have options. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Coach, what's going to make this a good season for you and the guys?
we got some great athletes. I mean, we've been in several scrimmages this summer, and I think against some really good high school teams from 4A down. I think our athletes have been as good or better than anybody we played. Well, we got to grow up really fast is on the offense and defensive lines. And if we can grow up on the offense and defensive lines really, really fast, I think we can be pretty good. The other thing I keep telling these guys, look, last year was awesome, but nobody's going to take you for granted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that. I mean, Taylor's coming in. They're you as a coach can try to hype up the other team, but they read the papers. They know records. They look at that stuff. Nobody's going to take us for granted this year. And with that sectional champion thing, there's a lot of teams in our conference that are in that section as well. Sheridan's going to want revenge. In fact, I was at camps all summer, and I kept hearing this. They kept telling me, we're going to get you this year. And so we're going to have to – we're not going to be able to have a down game. We're going to have to come in ready to play every week and doing the things that we do the right way, not turn over the ball. And then we're going to have to be much better and grow up really fast on the offense and defensive lines.
Sounds good, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Fellas, pleasure to see you again.
Yep.
Good luck this upcoming season. Again, for the first time, sectional champs, the Taylor Titans in Class 1A. Back with more in a moment here on the I. Welcome back here on the ISC Sports Network. Again, thanks to our friends Coca-Cola of Kokomo that make this possible. They have been your local Coca-Cola bottler since 1907. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Thanks to Craig, thanks to Abby, thanks to Brandon, everybody involved, Coca-Cola of Kokomo, that makes this show possible. We're coming to you from the Sun King in Kokomo, downtown in the Depot District. So thanks to them for being our hosts as they were for basketball a season ago. Again, we've got another new coach that is joining us now. Shane Arnold had a great run at Tri-Central, now the head coach at Anderson. So Brandon Hagan, who was on the staff at Northwestern for both Coach Padgett as well as Coach Small a season ago, now he is the man in charge of Tri-Central football, and he joins us now. First of all, Coach, a pleasure to meet you. And what is it like having a head coach in front of your name at this level for the first time?
It's different. You have a whole lot more responsibilities, and it's not – you don't have somebody else to go to and say, well, talk to Coach Small.
That's right.
So, yeah, now I'm the one that has to have all the problems come to me. But, there's a lot of bonuses, and being at Tri-Central has been great. Everybody's been welcoming to me, the players, the staff, administration. So,
and obviously a school that is about a decade or so removed from playing in a 1A championship game, so they know what success is like. But when you're at a 1A school, you're also thinking, all right, I'm looking at numbers. I'm seeing how many kids they got coming out for practice every day. So what do the numbers look like for you coming up this fall?
Those are low. So we got about 18 kids. It's just small classes. We got 3 seniors and 2 juniors. I went back and watched the interview of 2023. Jacob's brother was here.
Yeah.
And I think it was Jacob's brother who said, our freshman class, sophomore class, whatever, it's the smallest that we've had. Well, now those guys are
here.
Seniors.
We are. Yeah.
So, it's been that part's been a little bit different. Being at some of the schools I've been at. Going team was no problem, 11 on 11, but, now we use trash cans. So that part's been different, but, the guys that have been out there have really worked hard, and, I appreciate everything that they've done.
What is it like kind of tailoring what you're doing? You just kind of touched on from a team standpoint, but my guess is you have to kind of remind yourself, hey, I have to – you don't want to dial back the intensity. Maybe you got to dial back the time you're out there because, again, you're going to run through guys quickly. What has that adjustment process been like for you as a coach?
It's been different. Also being first year, them learning a new offense, them learning a new defense, and special teams is coming up this next week. But so you do have to kind of slow it down a little bit, just trying to install everything, and then hopefully we can start working more technique and all that stuff going forward. But yeah, just slow it down so that way those guys have a chance to really learn the offense and defense.
When school starts, are you almost kind of recruiting the hallways a little bit, saying, hey, you got a little size, would you like to play? Or like, you know what, this is my core. These are the guys I kind of want to go to battle with.
Right. Well, absolutely. It's great if we're able to add on some guys. Certainly would love to do that. But at the moment, these are the guys that we have, and this is who we're planning, like you said, to go battle with. One good thing about being at a 1A, I don't just have high schoolers, I also have middle schoolers. So I can start recruiting at a 7th grade level and help the program all the way up.
Those kids are called managers when they're 7th and 8th graders because that was me while I was in junior high for a couple of different sports. All right, so you literally have 5 upperclassmen. Mm-hmm. What has the leadership been like, what those guys have shown in terms of leading your off-season workouts and things like that?
They've been great. You do have a bunch of multi-sport athletes, but Jacob, was there for everything that he could be. Blake, played baseball. However, if they had a game that evening or they didn't have practice, whatever it may have been, he would come to the weight room. So having that kind of leadership between those guys has been huge, and I can't thank them enough for that.
All right, so with that, let's talk again. Jacob and Blake joining us here, and guys, again, you know the drill. There's not many of you in your senior class. Yeah. What has kept you motivated to keep playing for the amount of time that you've been playing at Tri-Central?
Well, it's definitely just the guys and the community we have. There's not many of us, but we all stick close together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake, what about for you? What is with not many other teammates in your class, what has kept you motivated to keep representing Tri-Central?
Usually the guys that the upperclassmen teach me stuff and
Yep.
being great and keeping me motivated to go to practice every day and have fun.
A lot of times the juniors and seniors, I wouldn't say look down on the freshmen and sophomores. They can be a little more harsh on them. You guys need those guys, this year. So how have you tried to be a leader to those young guys that will have to get some key reps for you this year?
Well, it's more of just been leading by example.
Yeah.
With us. I mean, we definitely are a little rougher on the freshmen. You know, gotta condition them in, but you know, we definitely support them and help them out in every way we can.
Kind of same question. How have you tried to be a leader in the off season leading into this coming fall?
I've tried to been a little pushy of them, but also tried to be like, guys, it's where it's early, we can learn and stuff, become better teammates and all that stuff.
What's it been like adapting to a brand new head coach this year?
I think it's been going pretty good. You know, I was expecting it to be a little slower, but we've picked up new things pretty fast. Mm-hmm. And I definitely like the attitude going into it. Like last year, conditioning was like we barely did anything at all. Mm-hmm. Like over the last couple years of Arnold, like the conditioning kept like slowly going down throughout the summers. But this year, we had 2 straight weeks of conditioning, and I loved it.
I can tell you two guys have not been skipping the weight room. You guys, from a physicality standpoint, you seem ready to go. What's going to make this a good senior year upcoming? What's some of the goals you've set for you and your teammates?
Some of the goals I've set is hopefully bring home a sectional championship and be closer as a team, be a team of one, and not, several guys with several egos, and just be a good team and good chemistry.
Jacob, same thing for you. What's going to make this a good senior season for you?
I mean, just everyone putting it out there, working as a team. Yep. We have not worked well as a team in the past.
And so now it's time to set that. So you hear what the guys have to say. What's going to make this a good first year for you at Tri-Central?
Just getting the most out of what we have. Trying to do the things that my big thing is TNT, do the things that take no talent.
Yeah.
So that's being in the weight room, or having our upperclassmen lead by example. As long as we go out and we compete the best that we can and we do the small things, we're using the right technique, guys aren't taking off plays, we'll let the cards fall where they fall as far as win-losses go.
Best of luck in your first year as the man in charge.
Yes,
and again, I know what it's like being a part of a small senior class. Good luck to you, fellas. Good, congratulations representing your high school in such a great fashion, and good luck this year. As the Tri-Central Trojans will take this quick timeout. Back with more in a moment. You're watching the 2025 Coca-Cola of Kokomo kickoff special right here on ISC.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
I'm talking about the Lewis Cass Kings, and joining us now on ISC. Today, Clay Mannering had other things he had to attend to, family-wise in a very good way, so Coach, congratulations. Send us offense coordinator Taylor Plank to join us to talk about the Kings. Taylor, pleasure to meet you, and practice starts just a few days from now, but obviously off-season work, conditioning, etc. How has the summer gone for you and the team?
First off, thanks for having us here, and nice meeting you as well. But this summer, I think the guys have really done a good job of getting into the weight room in June and working hard in there. We had a great football camp, and then we had a few scrimmages there in July, and I think we're starting to put the pieces together and getting ready to go.
Obviously, a traditional powerhouse in terms of program from a success standpoint. From a numbers standpoint, how many do you have out playing for the team this year?
We're somewhere around that 40 mark.
Okay.
We expect a couple more to come out there in August, but it's hit or miss here. But even though we've got smaller numbers, I feel like the guys that are there, they want to be, they're into it, and they're working hard.
I know that overall record-wise at 5-6, you had hoped for better things this season to go. But look at your scores, especially I'm talking to the offensive coordinator. Scoring points wasn't a problem. What was the key to your guys' offensive success a season ago?
I think with the wing T system and the guys we get out, they learn that system at an early age, 7th and 8th grade, and we just continue. And some of the plays that are our bread and butter, the buck sweep, down, rocket, jet, trap, those are things that are just engraved in their mind. That group last year did a great job of continuing to build on the success from before. I think as 8th graders, they scored one time last year's senior group. And so, you look at some of those scores and a wing T offense, you don't really think of scoring 55 points in a game. But when things are working, they're working really well, and the guys know their job, and they do their job well.
For those of our audience that might be watching this, since we have a statewide audience, when you think of wing T in high school football in the Indy area, you think of Eric Moore and Center Grove is what immediately comes to mind. How long you guys were into the wing T at Lewis Cass?
Oh, boy. Now you're questioning
generations
on my history. Yeah, generations. Let's put it this way.
Before Eric was at Center Grove, put it that way, huh?
I graduated in 2009 from Lewis Cass, and when I was a 7th grader, we were running the wing T, and so probably since the 90s when Scott Mannering is actually my co-offensive coordinator. So Clay decided to take over the defense, and Scott Mannering and I are doing the offense together, and it's been a ton of fun working with a Hall of Fame coach. And
I was going to say, a guy that's got a championship to his name at Lewis Cass. What's it like having him be a part of the staff?
Oh, it's just it's phenomenal, really. I mean, sometimes it's funny, he'll say, well, we're going to go do this drill on this bags or whatever, and we'll say, oh, man, this is the greatest drill ever, and then Clay will be like, I told you guys we needed to do that drill, but it's just Scott's been doing it for such a long time. He knows all the nuances of the offense and what we need to improve on and what what we're really good at, and maybe a play that we shouldn't run we'll kind of leave out because he's done it so long. And like I said, I grew up in that system, and Clay grew up in that system, and it's a ton of fun to run, and I think it works really well for our school system.
Now, you are pinch hitting for Coach Mannering, but you're also we are catching you on your way south. So tell us where you're going after we get done filming this interview.
Well, actually, so I came from the state fairgrounds. We had to take cattle down today, and I actually have the truck and trailer out in the parking lot and changed clothes, and I'll head back home. We'll feed animals, and then we'll load up and take the sheep down tomorrow. So
we're in the Depot District in a completely different meaning with having you dropping things off. Stay right there. Really, I tell you what, before I turn it over to these guys, tell about your senior class. What sort of numbers we looking at, and tell me about these two guys.
Well, right now we got 3. We got 2 of them here today. Julian Davidson is just a really fast guy, energetic type of guy. He'll play in our defensive backfield, and then he's really a threat on the outside. And something that we're kind of trying to do more is pass the ball a little bit, which is maybe a little unheard in the wing T, so we'll be a little bit of wing T spread. But Julian's a big part of that, and getting the ball outside to an athlete that can do something with it. And then Brody Hillis here, he's going to do a great job for us at guard. He's been there last year or the last couple of years, and just even though he may not be your idea of what a guard might look like at a college program or some of these big high schools, for wing T, he can pull and he can kick and he can lead and he can get out and do all the things that we need him to because he is so athletic and he keeps his pads low, and he'll surprise some guys that are a lot bigger than him because he'll sure move them. And then defensively, he's going to play outside backer for us, and kind of a new defensive scheme that's really, I think you're going to hear his name a lot, making tackles and that sort of thing. And I think both these guys are going to hear their name a lot on both sides of the ball. And then our last one, old Smitty, couldn't be here today. He was actually in another country. Gavin Smith, he'll play halfback and strong safety for us, and he's a returning two-way starter as well, and just like both these two were. And just even though we've got 3 guys in the senior class, you're going to hear their names a lot. They've put in the time in the weight room, and they're impact players on both sides of the ball for us, without a doubt.
Maybe the first time I've had somebody say he couldn't make us out of the country on the show.
Yeah,
I like that.
We're all over the place right now. It's actually our dead week. I don't know if it is for other schools, but I know our school's on a dead week, and so
moratorium week before practice gets started. I like that.
Yeah.
Let everybody scatter for a little bit. All right, we'll get to the players. So, Brody, let's get to it. Again, Coach laid out exactly what I was thinking. I've got your program weight in front of me at 6'1" and 185. Not normally with the weight of a guard, but in that system, having the athleticism to move helps you a great deal. What is it like for you playing a guard in a wing T set?
Tiring. But, well, I've put on a little bit of weight since then. But It's definitely different going against people that are a lot bigger than you on defensive line because that happens very often. But I'm never really in one place. I'm always doing something or running 30 yards downfield, blocking a safety. It's never really anything the same.
But I imagine you'd enjoy that part of the job, right?
I do. It gets tiring, but it's fun.
Julian, what's this like for you knowing this is going to be your last year wearing that Lewis Kings uniform and representing your community?
It's kind of it's like hard to believe that it's already our last year at playing football, and you never know what's going to happen, and could end tomorrow.
Sure. For you guys, again, literally 2/3 of the senior class that are playing, has it always been kind of small numbers in your group that have played? What's the bond like amongst your senior group?
Yeah, it's always been. I don't think we've ever had more than 6 or 8 or something like that. But a few people aren't playing this year that played last year. But I'd say we're all pretty close because of our small numbers.
Julian, when you think back to last year, again, you heard what we had to say. 5-6, solid record. Points were through the roof. How do you guys get better on the defensive side of the ball?
I feel like our new defense will help a lot. I feel like our defense last year was a lot different compared to this year, and what we're running will help a lot with, like, our coverages as corners and safeties will help a lot.
And knowing you're a two-way player, kind of same question to you. How does this new defense help you and your teammates this year?
I'd say we're a lot more confident with this defense than we were last year because last year it was more complicated. This one was more simple with less things doing, and we're like taking little baby steps before we add something new. We're making sure everybody knows pretty much is really confident with what each other's doing.
Julian, what's going to make this a good year for your teammates? What are some of the goals you set for the upcoming season?
We want to have a winning record this year, have a lot better defense this season, and hopefully win a sectional.
Brody, same thing for you. What are some of the goals you've set?
Definitely compete in sectionals, hopefully in the championship game, at least get there, but hopefully win and definitely be better on defense this year. And it'll be a challenge being as good offense because we lost a lot of good offensive players.
People from outside of Cass County may not realize this. You guys play maybe your biggest rivalry game is the first game of the season. And the guys nod their head immediately. What's it like playing Pioneer to open the season every year?
It's definitely nerve-wracking, especially because nobody's really in game shape yet because it's the first game of the season, and it's always the hottest game of the season, being in August. But, yeah, there's always a lot of cramps going on, so they've got to be like a few deep and getting ready.
Yep. Take some of this product with you. It'll help. You can stock up on that for the next few weeks. Julian, same question for you. Knowing you got Pioneer up front, what does that mean to you?
I would agree with Bernie. I'd say it's pretty nerve-wracking as well. Going into the first game of the season, playing your rivalry as the first game is just kind of like, okay, here's our rivalry. And as Bertie said, it was like the hottest game of the year and a bunch of cramps and people going down.
But hopefully you'll be ready for it. All right, Julian, I'll start with this one for you. Coach talked about this. Everybody gets 2 moratorium weeks, basically, during the course of the summer from an athletic standpoint. Everybody has to be off July 4th week. That's IHSAA-wide. Schools get to decide what the second week off. And I kind of like the idea of giving the guys before practice starts, before school starts, give everybody that one more week off. So what are you doing on your off week? What are you doing to kind of get away a little bit?
I've been working a lot, and I've been running.
Yeah.
Trying to stay in shape.
Avoiding those cramps in week 1.
Yep.
Brody, same question for you. What you been trying to do to get away a little bit before school starts up next week?
I've been playing some golf, and I've been working out some, playing some golf, and trying to eat a lot of food, gain some more weight.
So, the eating a lot of food is what guards do. The playing golf, not normally what guards do, which makes him a little bit different. Guys, best of luck this season, all right?
Thank you.
Coach, thanks for pitch hitting, and good luck at the State Fair this week.
Hey, thank you.
Those are the Cass Kings. We'll be back with more in a moment. You're watching on ISC. Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network, and there are certain things that over the years we have done this now you can kind of set your watch to. And for the last 5 years, the run that Carroll football has been on has been just remarkable. The guy to my left's record as the head coach is 42-8 at Carroll. Last season, 10-1. I'm sure there's still a little stinging about the sectional loss in the second round a season ago. But that's what the offseason weight room is for. Head coach Blake Betzner joins us now. Coach, it is good to see you. And again, a lot of folks go 10-1. Hey, that's phenomenal. Knowing you, my guess is you were still pretty steamed about kind of the way that it played out. Just overall your thoughts about how last year went for your program.
Yeah, I thought, again, we had a really nice season. Did a lot of really, really good things. But one of the issues we had was the time we got punched in the mouth, we never had time to fix it. So when you go 10-1, your one loss is that last game. You're so frustrated because you saw things. We didn't get that fixed. So this offseason has been just refocusing on getting some things fixed prior, to those kind of games. So it's been a different offseason for us. One that we thought we left the postseason too early last year, and so we want to get those fixed.
You guys have such a winning culture in multiple sports, which is what you want to have. But it also means it's not like you get these guys just focused on football during the offseason. What has been kind of the workout process, knowing you've got several guys that are basketball kids, baseball kids as well?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, our coaching staff from basketball, Adam Tessinger works with me really, really well. Baseball works with us well. So we break them up, and we are able to really help the kids out in that way where we're not expecting. We don't do much. This year I was blessed enough to be part of the all-star coaching staff. So I got to do that. So usually that's our team camp week.
Yep.
So usually in June we don't do anything football-wise other than lift. So we give them all June off, and we just want to get stronger and get ready to play football in July. That had changed a little bit this year, but we truly believe that hey, in June you spend time on baseball, and basketball, and then in July it's time.
So how has July been for you?
It's been really good. It's been hot.
Yeah,
it's very hot. But we got to see a lot of good things. We got to get our guys in there and go compete a couple times, and we're about where we thought we'd be.
Obviously, we get to do the North-South All-Star Game every year on ISC, but you got to experience it. I know the end result was not what you were hoping for, but that game is not about kind of the end result. What was that week like for you?
Oh, it's so fun. To get to be around those kids and those coaches, and I took it as a time where I could learn from really good football coaches. Yeah. So every night we would meet, and I talked to them every night and had questions. Adam, Central offensive line coach, was there. I probably talked to him more than I've talked to any coach ever. So and they're so willing to help each other. We've all stolen and taken stuff from each other. So to have those coaches you could really talk to was awesome. So we got good friendships, and got Frontier's quarterback was there. He's a really good player. He punted for us, and just get to know those kids. It was fun.
And you got to coach one of your players for one more week, correct?
Yes, Coy Lytle was there, and he did really, really well and made a lot of plays. So it was fun just to see him go out that way.
Tell us about your senior class.
Yeah, so this is a little bit different for us. We have 5 seniors this year. So 2 years ago in 2023, we had 23 seniors. So welcome to 1A football. But we pride ourselves on getting a lot of kids ready and making sure they're ready. Our 5 seniors that we do have are all really, really good football players. So I'm really excited about that group and what they're gonna bring. But we have 2 of them sitting here today. Aiden Wiles is our fullback. He'll play a lot more defense this year than he did a year ago. And then Emery Deaton's been starting since a sophomore defensively. He's a wingback for us. He'll play middle linebacker for us. So obviously these 2 guys we're going to rely on heavily. Then we got 2 offensive defensive linemen. One of them started for this will be his 3rd year starting, Travis Tinsman. Again, a really, really skilled big man that can do just about anything. Kingston Ayers is the strongest kid I've ever coached. So he's a 600-plus squatter, bench whatever he wants to bench, and really good footwork. So he's another, just really, really good player. And then Aiden Handy started for us defensively last year. Will play offense and defense for us this year. So all 5 of those will be 2-way guys that they can do everything.
So it's a 5-man senior class. Overall numbers for you, what does it look like?
Yeah, we're about 50.
Okay.
So we're still there, but we got a lot of younger kids. Our bottom 2 classes, we got a 21 or 20 in the freshman class, and 16, 17 in the sophomore class.
Yeah.
So we're shy numbers when junior and senior class, but our young numbers are really, really big.
In other words, there might be a bit of a learning curve because, frankly, you haven't had to ask freshmen and sophomores to play as much.
Absolutely. We got one setting here, but I think in my time my time in the 5 years, I think we've maybe started 3 sophomores ever, and we're going to play 3 to 5 this year.
That doesn't happen in 1A.
No,
frankly,
we've been
as
very
you well know. Yeah.
been very blessed in that way.
All right, let me get to Aiden and Emery, guys. First of all, it's a unique group. Again, you guys have had success. Normally, when you have success in 1A level, you've got a bigger class than you do. So what's kind of the unique and special bond knowing there's so few of you in this class?
Yeah, it just sets the standard higher for us. I feel like since there's so few of us, we perform so well, and we just grow really close because we know what each other's going through, and we've been there and been playing football together for so long that we're really tight.
What is it like? And again, frankly, you know nothing else. You've had 3 years of great success, but a lot of places, 10-1 would be a great year, and it was, but it was the ending. How big of a motivational factor has that been for you and your teammates this offseason?
Yeah, I think everybody's just been upset about how last year ended. We just have such like a winning culture, I think. Won sectionals every year but last year. And so I think it's just everybody's just hungry. Everybody wants to win. I think, honestly, I think that we kind of we were so used to winning that we kind of came into the game not focused. Like, I guess we were underestimating them is how I'd put it. And I think this year, like, we know it's coming. Whoever we play, like, we're refocused, ready to go.
At Carroll, the expectation is you're not just focusing on one sport. So we'll start with you. How many sports do you play at Carroll?
I play 2. I run track and play football.
All right. And what about you?
Just football.
Just focused on football.
Yep.
So, all right. So in June, when the other guys are allowed to kind of think about basketball or baseball, what sort of workouts were you doing to make sure you were ready to go come July?
So all off season, I worked out with our trainer because she had been to, she's worked at colleges and stuff like that. So she has a lot of experience with like speed and agility work and stuff like that. So I just worked with her with a couple guys all off season, and
I know that again, the bar is set pretty high. You've been used to playing in regionals and used to winning double-digit number of games. What's going to make this a good senior season for you?
For me, I feel like we have all the pieces that we need to win a lot of games. We just need to figure out how to put those together and make the big picture, and I think we can do that. It's just going to be a long road to get there, but once we get it all figured out, I think we're going to be really hard to stop.
You heard Coach talking about this. Obviously, you're going to have to rely on some younger guys a little bit sooner than you've had to. Frankly, opportunities that maybe you guys have, but not many others do. What's that process going to be like, kind of welcoming some more sophomores and knowing they've got to hit the field immediately?
Yeah, I think from the scrimmages and 7-on-7 stuff that we've had, I think those guys, like, personally, I think they look good. They look great. I think they performed well. I think that leaders and guys that, have played those positions before or just know a lot about that position, they can help them through it. And guys that know the defense or offense well can help and guide them through that.
Final thing for you, Coach. Again, any changes of the goals this year, even though the team's a little bit younger, you have the same high expectations?
Yeah, I one thing we hit hard is complacency. I think that's, these guys, I talked to them last week, and I don't think they won a junior high football game. So they went from not winning anything in junior high to being successful. It's not because of anything we did. It's because they are willing to work. And these 2 young men and a lot of our other senior, a lot of our other players, they work harder than I've ever seen any kids work. And we're so blessed at Carroll because, I picked up Wiles and Aiden, and he smells like, hogs. and he got in my truck too. But these guys, they know how to work. They've been in hog barns. Yeah. They've worked their entire lives. So when they come to football, it's just something they enjoy doing. So I'm just complacency is the big thing we're going to hit. We don't want to have that bad taste in our mouth anymore.
Kind of like Service Academy football.
Yeah.
They're going to be in condition.
Yes, they'll be ready.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Coach, good to see you as always.
You too. Thank you.
Again, Carroll set up for another great season. We'll take this quick timeout. More in a moment on the ISC Sports Network. Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network. Again, starting to wind things down for our annual Coca-Cola of Kokomo kickoff special. This is the 7th fall we have done this. 11 schools joining us on the show today. We cannot thank them enough. It is the 2nd year that the Logansport Berries have been represented, and it's the 1st year that they've got a new head football coach in some time. It is Troy Hudson. Previously spent time at both Peru and North Miami, both as a football coach and athletic administrator. And these days, yes, he's still an administrator, but also the football coach at Logansport. Troy, again, a pleasure to meet you, but kind of before we got this thing started, and to hear your name associated with the Berries and the Berry Bowl, what has that been like for you so far?
Yeah, I've been excited. I got hired on in March, and there's a lot coming at you when you get hired on that late. But we've hit the ground running hard. Just trying to establish a good culture, what we want as a group, and really kind of set the tone as a family culture. We want kids to be there and want to be a part of it as much as they can. And boys have been working hard, and I know they're all excited to get the season going.
Again, I know you've got an administrative role at Logansport in addition to coaching as well, and you get to work with one of the great ADs in the state in terms of Brian Strong. How's that relationship going?
It's great, actually. So I knew Brian from when I was at Peru.
Yeah.
Brian and I have a great relationship. There's no better person I don't feel like to work for as a coach.
Yep.
We have some of the best facilities, I feel like, in our area at Logansport, and he's fun to work for.
You also have, when you're following a legend like Mike Johnson, you know that a lot of the core things and the base has been set. What are you trying to do to kind of add to that, build upon that, et cetera?
Yeah, as an AD, as a former AD anyways, I always told my coaches, be yourself, be who you are, create your own culture. Mike, he's a Hall of Fame football coach. I am not Mike Johnson by any means yet. I got a long way to go from that standpoint. But it's just trying to create my own culture, but also build off what Mike built. He established some really good things here. I think he was there for 9 years. And so just establishing a good culture and building off that culture as well.
So, again, it's unique in that you had been kind of away from coaching for a little bit. What is it like now to kind of be back in the day-to-day grind of it?
Yeah, it's a little different. Mike asked me actually a couple years ago to come coach with him. At that time, it just wasn't good timing, and so this last year, I got back into it, and I love it. I love the grind of it. It takes away a little bit of family time, but I love competing. I love working with young men and trying to get them to become men. So it's been fun, and I'm excited to continuously move forward.
Obviously, Logansport went through a big move, walking away from the North Central Conference after literally decades as part of that league. And it led to immediate success. You go from a 4-win team to a 9-win team. Just kind of your thoughts, and I realize it wasn't on your watch, but the move that was made and the immediate success that kind of came from it.
It's a tough conference. I mean, you look through there, it is some well-established football teams. I know LCC there, they're actually not considered in our conference, but they are on the map. I mean, they're tough. They're a state contender year in, year out. Twin Lakes with Coach O'Shea. I mean, he's tough. He's tough. You got Heights, who's been a powerhouse for years. West Lafayette and Western. Coach Kobe went over there. They're going to be tough. I know they're going to be tough in what they establish. So we're creating new rivals with what we have here. By winning the conference, everybody's coming and gunning for you. And on top of that, you're the biggest school in the conference, so everybody wants a piece of you.
It is a different mindset. Logan was often the smallest school in the league, and now that has flipped. And it's funny you bring in new rivals since you opened the season with literally the oldest rivalry game in the history of the state of Indiana. And you know what it's like from the Bengal Tiger standpoint from Peru. What's it now like looking at that at the other end of that being on the Logan side?
Yeah, so I actually went to Peru as well in high school, so being a part of that is something special, and I think the kids really love it. We play for the Baldini Trophy there, and that kind of came about, I want to say, probably back in 2012 or 13 where we started to play for that trophy, and there's a good rival there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think our boys get excited excited about it. And for me, it's a little bit different just because I was at Peru. Now I'm at Logansport, and opening up with Peru as it's going to be fun.
All right, so tell me about the buy-in from your senior class.
Yeah, great group of kids. We discussed in regards to what we thought we were going to do offensively, and we decided that we're going to stick with what we're doing offensively. Just it's too late in the game. Feel like to make too many changes for that. Now we'll add some of our own things into it, but through the off season, hitting the weight room has been important for us. I think that's a foundational piece for success for any program, and making sure we're getting our boys into the weight room. We had a good group of seniors that went to our Wing T camp at Trine University. It's a 3-day camp. It's a tough camp, too. It's not an easy camp, I'm telling you. But our boys bought in, and we do a competition down there, and we ended up winning the competition. There was 8 other schools down there. And then we've done some scrimmages and stuff as well, and along with our practices. But I've got a group text with them, and I'm always texting them and just making sure, hey, you're leaders, making sure you're establishing that leadership with the younger kids as well. But they're bought in, and I know they're ready to go.
Tell me about these two guys I'm going to talk to here next.
Yeah, Bryson Herr right here, number 18. He's our quarterback. He'll be a third-year starter. He's a great leader, knows our offense in and out. He's almost like a second coach out there, which makes my job and our coach's jobs a lot easier. The other kid is Nicholson Hypolite. He just came here a couple years ago. He came from Florida. I was actually his counselor, and I got to know him pretty well there at Logansport. I was a counselor at Logansport when he came from Miami, and I got to know him pretty well. He's a strong kid, a hard worker, and fights hard daily to make sure he's doing the best he can.
All right, Coach has given me some great factoids to talk to you guys. First of all, gentlemen, thank you. And Nick, I dig the Blackhawks cap, by the way. So tell me about Miami to Logansport. That can't be an easy transition. What was that like for you?
Florida's hot. It's hot.
Well, it's hot right here now, but yes, I get that.
Look, but listen though, here it's a different heat here in Indiana.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie, but Florida, this is my second year playing football in Florida. Didn't really know much of it. Came here, met Coach Hudson over there. He was my guidance counselor. Created a bond with him. And Coach Jay was a great coach. I like Coach Jay, but he's not here no more. We got Coach Hudson now. So
I was going to say, just even from an off-the-field standpoint, that is literally a culture shock going from Miami to Logansport. How have you handled that?
It's been some walls here and there.
Sure.
But overcame them, and with his help, I did too.
It's wonderful to hear. Yeah. Bryson, I know being a quarterback in a wing T system means you don't get to throw the ball all that much. So how would you define the role that you play in a wing T offense?
Just make sure that my running backs can get the ball. That's really the most important thing you can do in the wing T. But when the pass is called, then make sure you complete it and just give people the ball that need it.
Your job as a football player is to carry out whatever coach asks. When coach and staff deciding, you know what, we're going to keep this offense in place, what was kind of the mindset of you and the guys in the locker room about that?
We were pretty confident because a lot of our guys know it really well because Coach Johnson really put it into our brain. So, it was a lot easier than totally switching offenses. But, yeah.
It was obviously, and I asked this of Coach, but it frankly even more pertains to you. That was a major schedule change you guys had, last year, playing schools more your size, closer to you, not kind of going all across the state. What was that like for you last fall?
We weren't really sure what it was going to be like coming into it. We know there were some tough teams, like Coach mentioned, but we got into our first game against Peru, did very well, and then it's kind of carried on from there. So definitely not an easier conference from what it was.
9 wins last year. Lost a great game to Lebanon in terms of the sectional semifinals. What's some of the goals you and your teammates have set for yourself this season?
We've just been taking it step by step with our mindset. Take care of conference, move to sectional, regional, and at the end of the day, I think everybody's goal is to win a state championship.
Nick, same question for you. What are some of the goals you've set for this your senior season?
Just showing up to the weight room, helping the younger guys, setting an example for them. And always showing up even when you don't want to, and learning from every rep. You know, every rep is going to help you later on in the season. And you guys, Bryson, I tell him it's time to lock in, bro. Season going to start in like a week.
Yep.
We got to, you know what I'm saying, put the foot down and keep it going from there. Don't like let last year get to our heads, because we could redo the same thing again or even better. So,
being a guy that's kind of learning things about the area on the fly, what did you learn about that Peru rivalry game at the start of the year?
I honestly don't get what the hatred is, but but hey, I they bought me into it, and shit, I hate them too. Excuse my language.
Bryson, you're tell me about your view of that game.
Oh man, it's just so fun starting the season up with a rivalry like that.
Yep.
It really sets the tone. We don't want to win more than that. We want the Baldini Trophy at our stadium. It is the most important thing that comes out of that game, and it's probably one of the most. It's going to be one of my favorite memories for sure of high school football.
It is literally, folks, the longest-standing high school football game that's been played in the state of Indiana. Final thing, Coach, what's going to make this a good first year for you at Logan?
I think just for me, anyways, I'm a guy that takes things on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah.
But, winning's important. There's
Sure.
no question about it. But, just seeing our young men try to have success this season, just things that will set them up beyond football from that standpoint. So once the season's over, I just want them to feel like they had no regrets in anything that they did, and they gave everything they could.
Very good. Coach, pleasure to meet
Yep.
you. Good luck
Nice
this
meeting you.
season. Good luck, fellas. Logansport Berries, again, that historic game opens up against Peru their season on August the 22nd. Back with more in a moment on ISC.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds talking Colts,
Hard with
Pacers, Indiana sports every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Welcome back, and our final team to join us is more of a family affair here on the ISC Sports Network. Guy about to be in his 19th year as the head coach at Eastern High School, and literally all of this young man's life, Dad's been the head coach at Eastern. This is Abe Edwards, who is a junior playing for the Comets. And much as we would Taylor, I want to make sure we emphasize this. First-time sectional champs a year ago in program history, and the smiles are as wide as they should be to my right and my left. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, for the last decade or so, you have built a very consistent winner in Greentown, but you finally got over that hump last year to win a sectional championship.
Yes.
What was that first Friday night in November like for you?
Man, I tell you what, cold chills as I'm getting them right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
You know
You
what I
should.
mean? It's to be honest, it wasn't a team that I thought would win our first sectional title. We had a class in 2020 that was undefeated 2 consecutive years, made it to the sectional final, didn't get it done. 2 years ago, my oldest son, Eli, his class, very successful all the way through. Get to the sectional final. We were 9-2 going into that. Played Bluffton, got beat. Those 2 teams there, those groups of kids were the ones that I thought for sure would be our first sectional title winners. We knew we'd be competitive last year. Started very slow, but again, it's just right time, right place. Good draw. Team chemistry was at its peak at that time, and man, it was very special, very very special.
How did that kind of spur you again? Because when you've had constant success, numbers have been up, kids have been showing up, doing the work in the weight room. But now do you have it even like more kids kind of showing up, won't be a part of the program because of that?
You know what? Not really. I was talking to Coach Patchett about this the other day at Taylor. He kind of mentioned that, how he thought his numbers would be way up, and after winning the sectional, he's like, well, it's about like they were, but we got good kids, and that's kind of how it is at Eastern. We're always in that low 50 area. Sometimes we'll peak 60 if we're lucky, but again, football is you have to have a special breed of person, individual that likes to go out and get hit and hit. And it's not fun, 95 degrees in the heat. You can't lie and say practices are fun in that. So it takes a special breed of person to want to go out and do that. And we've got a really good select group of kids at Eastern that are committed. We're going to be in the low 50s again this year. That they want to build on that success, so they want to be a part of it. But it's not getting kids popping out of the woodwork or anything like that. We offer 19 sports at Eastern, so at a 2A school, that's a lot of offerings, and there are a lot of things that kids are involved in. So if we get the right kids, is what we're looking for. The coach at Boise State a while back called them OKGs, our kind of guys, and that's what we look for. We look for our kind of guys that want to come out and work hard, be a part of a family, win together, lose together, go through the grind together. And that's what we've got. We've got kids that want to put the work in, they want to win, and our goal this year obviously is to take it another weekend farther at least.
What sort of senior class are you trying to replace from last year?
So a very successful one. Yeah. We only lose eight seniors, and one of those missed the entire year with a torn ACL. But they were kids that are used to winning. Two of those kids were 3-year starters, captains. One was an all-state wide receiver, Braylon Word. But we lose a very good committed class, and so you like to use the word role players, and that's what they were. They were kids that knew what their niche was. They're going to play right tackle. They're going to do their job there. May not be a mauler, may not be a guy that's going to pancake somebody every time, but they'll get their job done. And that's what we lose, guys that knew our system, that loved the program. So that's what we're looking to replace. We've got a really nice size senior class coming up. But again, you don't ever like to lose a group of winners like we lost last year.
It is not lost on me that you are trying to play bigger schools in your 2 non-conference games. 2 schools you played on a regular basis,
yeah.
But knowing you're in a really good 1A, 2A league,
yes.
How do Oak Hill and Northwestern prepare you for that league?
Well, again, so we face Mississinawa in our controlled scrimmage as well. So they're bouncing back and forth between 4A and 3A, right. And they're very successful. So we like those first 3 games to try to prepare us for our conference, right? And it's primarily a 1A with a couple 2A sprinkled in, but they're good programs, right? You've got Carroll, you've got Sheridan, and then you've got Delphi, who's a winning team year in and year out. And then Clinton Prairie is obviously on the rise as well. So we've got very good small school programs in our conference. So playing Northwestern, especially like you have an Oak Hill that's got a coaching staff that's been there 20-plus years, and it's a program, right? You use that term, and you describe the kids that they're going to be disciplined, they're going to be well coached, you're going to know what they're going to do. You just got to stop them. And so we like the beginning of our season with the big controlled scrimmage with Mississinawa, then Oak Hill, then Northwestern, who's obviously back on track. So it does prepare us well, and I feel like that's what it did last year. We started off a little slow. We were 1-4 to start the season, and then rattled off 7 straight wins. And I feel like that beginning of the year struggles, and we were competitive. We just didn't get the job done. I feel like that beginning of the year grind prepared us and actually helped us grow as a team, especially our team chemistry and our leadership.
What sort of role does this guy have to play for your team this year?
He's a quiet guy. My other son, Eli, is outspoken, more of a vocal leader. Abe is a guy that's going to come in and he's going to work hard, and he's going to definitely speak with his shoulder pads. 202 tackles last year. At one time led the state of Indiana in tackles. First team All-State guy. So he's kind of my physical dude. He's going to play the Mike linebacker for me. And he'll play my H-back, which is like a fullback in the spread offense. Yeah. Spread coaches don't like to call them fullbacks, but he'll play my H-back and tight end when we go with 11 personnel. So he's going to be the guy that if we want to be physical on offense, he'll be in the game. He's worked very hard on improving his speed. He's got good size. He's got good strength. And but when we want to go physical, Abe will be in the game. If we want to go more speed and finesse and do our true 4 and 5 wide, we'll get more of a speed guy in there. But Abe is a guy that he was a captain as a sophomore. He's the first one I've ever had that was voted on by his team, and he is a quiet workman leader. Again, not a guy that's going to say much, and that's the way he is at home too. He's always been the quiet guy, but he will speak with his actions and with his play.
I can do the math. If you play a 13-game schedule, 202 tackles, it's about 15 tackles a game that he averaged a season ago. Abe, obviously, you literally have known nothing but Eastern football for your entire life. Dad has been the head coach ever since you were born. To be a part of that first I'm getting goosebumps asking you the question, let alone what Dad was. To be a part of that first sectional championship, describe what that meant to you last year.
It was just special, man. I don't know. Like the feeling, I've never felt anything like that in my life. I didn't know it was going to be that team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because we started out 1-4, but we made it happen. The chemistry was just flying. I think we could have put anybody in that situation on the team, and it would have worked with how we were working.
Similar question as to the last one, but again, you've known nothing but your dad being the head coach at Eastern. What is it like being with Dad at practice, at games, all the time?
It's just the normal to me now, honestly. Yeah. He goes harder on me. He won't admit it, but he does. Every wrong move I make, he's saying something about it, but it makes me who I am now. So
when you're at home, is it a little bit different? Do you get a break or?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
It makes you better.
Yeah.
You'll appreciate it down the road. When you put up those numbers as a sophomore, and you already had a leadership role as a captain as a sophomore, you're expected to do kind of similar things as a junior. Do you feel you have to approach things differently now that you're a year older?
Yeah, I think I have to be more of a vocal leader, but like the same thing goes on the field. I've been working on getting more downhill as a linebacker because I was like not getting as many TFLs as I should, I feel like.
Right.
Shooting the gaps more, but same thing.
I know you've got another year, if not 2 years, to worry about this. Are you hoping to play football, be on the high school level?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, so clearly you accomplished the chief goal last year to claim that first sectional championship. What are some of the goals that you've set for this season here in 2025?
Just being the best team we can be and going a step or two farther, obviously. I mean, I think we can. We still have the same dudes, same core dudes, and the chemistry's still there. So I think we have to get past what we fell on last year.
Finally, before we let you go, Josh, and again, hearing what he said and knowing you, I kind of know what your goal is in terms of what you can accomplish this year. You're about to be in round number territory. You're 4 wins away from 100 at Eastern High School. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's special, right? It's my alma mater.
Yeah.
I've had opportunities to leave. I've even asked this guy to my right if he'd want to go to if I'd take an assistance role at a bigger school to help his recruiting a little bit, and both of my sons said no to that.
Good.
So Eastern's a special place to us. We love it. It's very emotional for me to coach there and wear green and gold just because that's the way I was in high school, man. I'd buy the basketball shoes just so I could get green shoes. I couldn't make a basket to save my life, but I'd buy the basketball shoes. I just bleed green and gold, and to get 100 at Eastern would be very special, especially with, we started off with the rebuild when I started there in 2007. Took a couple years. We got it going. We cycled back down for a few years, and then we've gotten things going. So, to go through the low times and then now to what I feel we have developed, that term I use, program.
Yeah.
We've got the program going now to where it's kind of a reload type of scenario. It'd be very emotional and special for me if we can get that 100 wins this year, which I hope we can, because we have some pretty lofty goals for this group of kids.
Understood. Good to see you, my friend. Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Hey, pleasure to see you, buddy. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
The Edwards family from Eastern High School joining us. We'll come back and wrap it up next on ISC. Want to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew that made this show possible. Vince Morales, Brant McCoskey. Thanks to Charlie Hammock and Jordan Shue. Again, thanks to Brandon, Abby, Craig, everybody at Coca-Cola of Kokomo. Again, they're your local Coca-Cola bottler since 1907. They serve 25-plus schools in north central Indiana. You saw 11 of those on the program today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll do it again. Well, for the basketball season coming up in November, and best of luck to each of these schools when they kick off the football season on Friday night, August 22nd. Thanks for joining us for the 2025 Coca-Cola of Kokomo kickoff special right here on ISC.